guys, I'm Chris, and I'm here to give my initial thoughts on what I thought about the Avengers, which I saw last night. They did it. They did it. I'm without words. They made the Avengers movie, and by God, was it marvelous. And I'm kind of still in shock. I came out of that movie so satisfied I wanted to watch it again right after that. And there's only been a couple movies in my life that I've watched, like a 3-hour movie, mind you, and said, let's watch that again. Let's rewind it. Sir, can you put the projection? Rewind that puppy. Let's do it all over again. Let's start this puppy up again. That's how I felt. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, I was without words. And I didn't want to overhype the movie either, because I've overhyped movies in the past. This movie, I only watched a couple trailers, and I tried to stay away from spoilers as much as possible. I didn't even look at like production stills. Like, I wanted to be very, very fresh in my head. With that said, you can't escape the hype for this movie. Now, I loved all those movies. Iron Man 1, 2, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America. I love them all. So, you know, that is, you're hyping yourself up right there. I mean, all those movies are awesome. They had Easter eggs. They're all connected somehow. And you go into this movie and you're like, how are they going to make this work? You have all these giant franchises, these, you know, egos and stuff like that. But it all balanced well. Now, granted, I came out of the movie loving one character, the Hulk, so much afterwards, and to me, he kind of stole the show just a little bit. But everyone had their moment. Everyone had their introduction. Everyone had, you know, a great exit. Everyone had their awesome fighting scenes. Everyone fought Loki. Loki's the big boss. For those who don't know the plot of this movie, who've been living under a rock for the past like 7 years, the Avengers is a team of superheroes that consists of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk, and they are here to fight a great force of evil that is now attacking Earth, led by Thor's younger evil brother, Loki. Let me just say, Loki was so good in this movie. In Thor, he was an awesome presence, he was a great villain, but here he was just so much more cunning, he was so much more seductive, menacing, a villain that you just love to hate. Like, when he was on screen, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, I love him. He has like that Darth Vader type presence where you love watching him on screen, but at the same time, you love watching his butt getting kicked, which he does get his ass kicked quite a few times in the movie. With that said, but everyone was really amazing. I mean, what I was most surprised about this movie was definitely the humor. I knew that like Tony Stark would have like, you know, his shtick and his little comments and whatnot, so I thought that was going to be the comedic balance. Like, you know, there's going to be all this fighting, all this, you know, action and whatnot. I thought Tony Stark was just going to be like the humor to balance it off. But every character was funny, which is surprising to me, and it wasn't bad humor. It was well-deserved, well-written, well-placed. It wasn't forced humor, it wasn't slapstick, it was just well-placed. I mean, after all these action scenes, after all these crazy things, a death or two or whatever, there was this well-placed, awesome, well-written humor. The character that I fell in love with was the Hulk. He was so awesome in this movie. And I have to say, Mark Ruffalo, great job. He was the only thing that I was worried about going into this movie. I knew this movie was going to be awesome, but I was worried. I had some doubt about Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner because I loved Ed Norton. I thought that Ed Norton did a great job in The Incredible Hulk, but frankly, I didn't miss him, which was surprising because I thought Mark Ruffalo did a great job. He was likable. He's fit in. You didn't really miss him. Like when I watched Iron Man 2, I thought Don Cheadle stuck out like a sore thumb. I as Rhodey, because I don't know. I really liked. I forgot the actor's name who played Rhodey in Iron Man 1. But I liked him a lot. And then when Don Cheadle played him in Iron Man 2, every time I saw him, I'm like, oh, you know, there was kind of like a little disconnect there. But with this, you know, Ed Norton was great, but I thought Mark Ruffalo was good. He had some good moments with Stark and everyone. But the Hulk was just, he had so much personality in this movie. The Hulk had a sense of humor, which was something that we've never seen in Ang Lee's Hulk, and then the reboot, The Incredible Hulk. But like in this one, he was funny, which was so unexpected. But it was such an event, such an amazing movie, and I'm going to quote one of my friends I follow on Twitter, Daryushiman. He says, this is going to be kind of paraphrasing it, everyone seeing the Avengers will remember where they were when they saw this movie. Something like that. You know, it's just one of those movies where you're always going to remember the first time you saw that movie. Like Star Wars, I'll always remember seeing the Avengers opening night. Huge crowds and all that stuff. It was such an event. People have been anticipating this movie for a long time. I've been like religiously anticipating this movie ever since Iron Man 1. It lived up to the hype. It was well written. It's being well received, and it's going to make like $1 bajillion in the box office. The only sad thing about this movie is that we're going to have to wait another 5-6 years for Avengers 2, which, you know, we have Iron Man 3 coming out next year, we have Thor 2 coming out next year, the following year we have Captain America 2, because the Hulk was so well received in this movie, there's rumors that we're going to see The Incredible Hulk 2, which I'm very excited about, and supposedly Mark Ruffalo has signed a 6-picture deal, so that's something to look forward to. Also, make sure you stay after the credits. Now, you know with the Marvel movies, there's always some sort of a scene that plays after the credits. So make sure you stay. There's actually 2 scenes. One that like happens kind of halfway through the credits, which is a pretty cool scene. And then there's this one awesome one that's at the end. I was on the floor. My face, I was clapping, I was laughing. It was so good. After all that's happened in this movie, this was the perfect, the most well thought out, amazing scene ever. The movie could have been crap. This scene would have made up for it. Now, thank goodness the movie was amazing. But this scene was so good. And for those who have seen it, you know exactly what I'm saying. For those who haven't, definitely go see the movie. It's amazing. So for those who have seen it, I know it's been out for like a week in some places overseas. I live in the United States, so it just opened up now. Tell me what you thought in the comments down below. Tell me, you know, what were your favorite parts? I know I've gotten some comments in the past that say, Chris, why do you always cheerlead your movies? You never say anything negative. I only review movies that I like. I did review the Mario movie, and I did talk a lot of crap about it. But I only like talking about movies that I thoroughly enjoyed. And you can tell from my enthusiasm and the fact that I want to see it again right now. I wanted to see it again right after I saw it, 3 a.m. I was ready to sit my butt down in the seat and say, okay, let's do this again, guys. The movie was fantastic. Lives up to the hype. It is amazing. You're going to love every character, especially the Hulk. For those of you wondering about the fan spotlights, those will resume tomorrow. And I have so many awesome things planned for Marvel May. I have awesome videos planned, so just look forward to those. And I have some really cool giveaways that I'm going to be announcing next week. So look forward to those. Thanks again, guys. I'm Chris, and you've just been Chris Cross.